Okay, welcome to Safety Education. My name is Mr. Forey, and I'm going to explain how to use Schoology in the Safety Ed platform. Okay, first we're going to look up here. This will have a different picture for each class. So only the Safety Ed first marking period, period 1, 2 would actually have this exact picture and the name. Otherwise, you would have your marking period and, of course, the period that you're in. This should look the same. It should say Safety Education. I sometimes differentiate that from a blended or the BCA class as well. You might see that indicated here, but other than that, it's pretty much the same one big folder that includes everything for the course. Now let's open the course. If we click on it here, you will open up and see everything below it. I do want to go over one key thing with doing my course. You do not want to use the shortcuts all the time by you clicking on this. I mean, that can get you where you want to go, but when you actually get to the unit lessons, it's best if you actually click on it in order to get to where you need to go. Otherwise, it might not record that you actually watched something or did something, and you might get a little frustrated with that. So make sure always click on it once you get to it. You can use the shortcut to get to the folder, but once you're actually at the folder you want to work on, click on the actual folder so you can see everything opened up. And it also tells you what you need to do. Must view this item, must complete this item, must complete this item. So let's look at this one. First off, this is class sign out. So if you have to go out for the bathroom, nurse, things like, well, the nurse actually has a separate form, but you can basically just click on that and sign out to go to the bathroom, basically, or the office. This is your classroom assignments for the course. So if you click on that, it will give you a nice printout. You can print this out. And basically it tells you what we do every day. Day 1, Introduction to Safety Ed folder, and Unit 1, HTS assignment. Day 2, getting your permit folder and for Unit 1. So it tells you each day that we have class, and it also tells you when our tests are. They're highlighted there when it is. September 3rd would be the first test, and then September 17th would be the next, and so forth until we actually get down here to the final, which is October 29th. That would be the last day of the course. It's only a 45-day class, and that's when the course would be over. Now if we want to go back, you just go up here to this little folder called Safety Ed, and that will take you back to all the things in the folder. I do have a YouTube channel, which I started last year, and basically it has a bunch of videos. We did a video for one of my classes, some educational videos I tried to put together last year during the pandemic, and you can see all the things. So if you want to subscribe to that, that would help me out. I don't know if I ever get to 1,000 subscribers to actually make any money and have so many hours, but it's maybe I'll hit it big with a video and be able to actually have some money to pay for some simulators. Anyhow, that's if you want to help out with that. You can see any time I put something new on, you'll be able to see it as well. All right, next up is the unit lessons. This is where all of your classes, all your information, all your quizzes is completed in. If you click on it, you'll see all your units. Introduction to Safety Ed, that's what we're going to be doing today. Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, Unit 5, and Unit 6, and of course our final exam, which will be on the last day of the course. Now let me just remind you, please do not use the shortcuts here in order to do different things. It won't recognize that you completed it through the completion process. When you're in the unit lessons, you have to complete everything that's listed in order. Okay? So for example, if I click on Introduction to Safety Ed, you want to click on the actual folder. You'll see I have to complete this overview, and then here's the Safety Ed notes. Hopefully the teacher will provide you with that. and you'll be good to go. Otherwise, you can print them out if you need them, in case you lose them or something like that. Overview, click on that. You'll see there's 3 things here. Again, you need to do these in order. So the first one, you have to do this one, then this one, then this one, before you can open up the next folder. And you must sometimes have to get a certain score. Sometimes you just have to click on it to view it. So you have to follow that, whatever the description is below it. That's why it's important not to do the shortcut. For one, it won't say that you viewed it, as well as you won't know what to do. So let's do the Safety Ed overview. You would click on that. It's just a PowerPoint of the overview of the course. You can go ahead and go through that. Once you look through that, you click back on it up here, and you should see a check here. Now, I'm a teacher, so everything's open to me. But for you, you should see a big check saying that you viewed it. If for some reason it does not indicate it, please go up to the refresh button at the top here and click that on the browser, and it should give you that check. So just in case you did view it and you say, why doesn't it give you the check? Go up and hit refresh. It should check it. All right, the next one is the book. So here's the book, the driver's ed manual. You can click on that and take a look at the manual, and that's the book we'll be using for the course. Okay, they do no longer print these. They used to print them out. I used to give a book out to every student for free. They no longer print these. Okay, if you are a student that has a learning disability, or you just very visual type person, talk to me. I can print them. It does take a lot of paper. So that's why the state stopped printing them, is to save money through that. So that's where that is. There's also an audio version, which is a great way to put yourself to sleep at night. They'll read the whole manual to you. Back up here, understanding the course overview. Basically, you can read this. Did you read the course overview? You have to put, it's a multiple choice question. You hit yes, okay, or go back and make sure you read it. And just remember, the whole course is completed in a marking period. The marking period is worth 80% of the cumulative grade. The final test will be worth 20%. That final test is the last test you take. Remember, all course must be completed in order to take the final. You have to understand that. I need all course requirements done so you can take the final. And it's a step-by-step process through it. It's not very difficult, and you should have no problems passing the course if you complete the course. Go back up to overview, and after that you should, if you scored 10, make sure you hit yes on both of those, and you should get a big check there saying you completed it. Again, if you did not get that, go up to refresh and click on that, and then you would see it. Let's keep moving on. So that should be all completed by now. You should have checks on all of those things just by clicking on them in order. Before, like they should be blue, and then the other rest should be grayed until you get through it. Now let's click back. You should have a check there because you completed everything there. This one you don't have to click or anything because it's just there if you need it. That's your Safety Ed notes. I have the entire notes for the entire course in one PDF document. Now you should go all the way back here to Introduction to Safety Ed, and that should be a big check. You completed the first folder for today. That's what should be completed on day 1. Now let's get started in the actual meat of the course in Unit 1, getting your license, the laws and regulations. So you go ahead and click on that. The first thing is the HTS. What is that? Well, that's what you have to do. You click on it. Again, remember, you're clicking on it, not do the shortcuts. You can see what you need to do, what score you need to get on your quiz. All right? And so the first thing you have is HTS right here. This is a video. So if we click on that video, it will open an Ed puzzle. And you will watch the video. Okay? And this is how you would get your material. So you'd watch the entire video, after you complete the entire video. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the questions in Edpuzzle are not graded. They're just there to check your information, that you check that you understand it. They are not graded. It's just there to help you. But you don't have to complete all the questions all the time with that. You might say, hey, this is not recorded, things like that. It's just to present the video and give you some checking if you want to. What grade is completed is the one on Schoology right here. When you click on that one, very easy one for this question. Again, this is just to show you how to do it. What does HTS stand for? And then you have a multiple choice question there, and you would answer it. One question. You either get 100 or a 0. All right. You have to get at least a 70. So if you get a 0, it won't let you move on to the next thing. You have to go back and take the quiz again. And most of these quizzes are set for maybe 7, 8 tries. So you should have plenty of tries. Some quizzes later on will be averaged. The quizzes will be averaged. So if you get 100, or if you get a 50%, then you get 100, you get a 75% as an average. And then this is just a PowerPoint of basically the same thing that was on the Edpuzzle. It's just there if you want to just look over it. Maybe you missed something in your notes, you can look over it quickly. The reason why I have it after the quiz is I want you to watch the video. I articulate, I describe things, I get in more in depth with it. That's why it's important to watch the video completely, then take your quiz. And during the video, you should be taking your notes. Here's some note packet that you just fill out the notes, and then you take your quiz. Then here's again the same PowerPoint. You can look over in case you missed something. It's there if you need it. After that's all completed, you hit refresh, and you should have checks on all of these. Again, I can't do that because I am the teacher, but that's how that works. And then when you're all done, after day 1, you should have a big check here under HTS that you completed that folder, as well as that, of course, that orientation folder as well. So, again, if you want to continue, you could. You should have a big check here, which then should open up getting your permit. If you say, Mr. Fourier, it's not giving me it's not letting this be blue or like a link. Again, go up to hit refresh, and it should open that up. And remember, don't use these quick tabs. It won't record it, and it won't tell you what you need to do. Click on the actual folder so you can see what you need to do for each thing. Okay, I got to watch this video, take this quiz, get at least an 80, and then this, I have to just look at this PowerPoint, review the PowerPoint for information. And if you are up to it this first day, you can start working on your permit, watching the video, getting all your notes, learning all about that, so you know what you need to do in order to get your permit, or what regulations you have when you have your permit, what you can do with your permit, what hours to drive, that type of thing. Okay, so that's how the whole course works. With it, just a quick review. You can click all these little links at the top here. You can easily get back to the first thing. You can see some upcoming events. This is basically a driving labs. We're going to actually be driving a simulator. We have a simulator room that actually has a few simulators. I have 3 simulators that you would get to drive one of them and get exposure to how to drive, actually hands-on driving, to help you get ready to get behind the wheel and be safe with that. So that's exciting. And things like that. Any upcoming events, I might have some guest speakers if we're allowed to do that, or if that type of thing, or might be going out to do a blind spot lab, or do some field trips, maybe show you how to parallel park with the actual car. We'll go out and do that for part of a day. So a lot of different things could come up there you might see as well. Your grade book is down here, so updates, this will give you all the updates. I'm going to be putting an update in here, saying hi and all that type of thing. Take a look at that each day. Also, here's your grade book. Can show you what your grade is. And obviously no one has a grade yet, but you can have all your grades, and it goes all the way apart, all the grades that are available for the year. Okay. Well, thank you for being in the class. Hopefully this explains some things better. Again, don't use the special links. Click on the actual folder, and you should be fine. And just get your work done each day through